Welcome back for some more White Sox action. I know I said I was gonna send through spring training, but I decided not to. There's a new way I want to kind of record and upload these like actual gameplay and showcases, and I think spring training is a good way to test that out to see if I can actually get it to work. If not, it's back to the drawing board. But also, like, I need to see how this team does. We were way more active in free agency than I anticipated us being. It didn't really do a whole lot. We missed out on some of the bigger prospects that we kind of went after, which was, I mean, one of the worst teams in the majors. What do you expect? But we didn't really improve a whole lot. Looks like we got slower actually in speed. Didn't really bump up. We're still a bottom tier team. But let's kind of go over our roster really. We did keep Shane Baz. He's going to be our ace coming out. Drew Thorpe did improve enough to kind of make me go, it's worth a shot. We're going to see how he does in the spring. It's going to kind of determine what we do with him. Does he go back down to AAA for another year of development, or do we let him roll for his rookie season? We have Jonathan Cannon. That pretty much fills out our top four. Depending how spring training goes, we might sign a free agent, a pitcher to kind of go in this rotation. We don't have a whole lot of depth underneath. I don't know how I kind of want to approach that. We may try to trade some people off, do some like prospect swaps basically. Like I'm not looking to grab a big time starter here in spring training. In terms of bullpen arms, we did go get some guys. We did get Morietta at the Roll Call draft to kind of fill out our bullpen. He may serve as our closer. I haven't decided yet. Pretty solid here with his hits per nine. His walks per nine are a little low, but I think he has the potential to kind of be that closer for us. Only a three pitch mix, but I'm not too concerned with that. Got Tommy Kennelly here on a 1 year deal. He's also someone who could potentially serve as a closer for us. We're gonna kind of work with what we got. See what happens. I do like him more as our potential closer. Might move Munfree to the setup position. But bullpen's not looking too bad. Some of these guys probably won't be brought back. I did bring him back just because I didn't want to have to replace a whole bunch of relievers. Munfree is in regression. I think we still have him under team control. We do for a couple years, but this might be the last year he's on the team. May look to sign or draft us a closer late in the draft to kind of see what happens there. Cal Till's probably going to be our catcher going forward for the majors. I really like what I saw from him when we brought him up last year. And then we did sign Miguel Amaya, so he'll probably be our number two. Probably going to send Cuero down and Corey Lee down to the AAA. But they're going to be on the 40-man roster for the spring. See what they can do. See if I change my mind. We brought in Luis Ariza. Andrew Vaughn didn't do bad. I wasn't disappointed in what he did last year. We needed depth, and we didn't have anybody behind Andrew Vaughn. And to me, it was more beneficial to sign somebody that potentially could start over him, and we can kind of rotate them out as needed. We also went and signed several guys who can play multiple infield positions and outfield positions just to kind of give us a little bit more options everywhere. Dylan Moore was another one of our acquisitions. Like I said, we didn't make any big splashes. We swung on a few guys, missed. It is what it is. We're gonna have to go from there. I didn't want to go after any of the like Kyle Tuckers because I feel like you're eating a massive contract while you're trying to rebuild around them, and you don't have the funds to do it. So need more homegrown talent before we start making big splashes in free agency. Got some options at third base for us here. I would like to keep Hernandez, Rojas, and Cabrera on the 26-man roster just because they can play multiple positions. I mean, Hernandez can play pretty much anywhere except catcher. I feel like that's going to be beneficial, especially if you have injuries. Rojas can play a couple different positions for us, and then Cabrera can also play several positions for us. So I'd like to keep all three of them just for that. Dahlbeck and Ramos most likely are going to get sent down. They all have their minor league options still. Shortstop, I think we're gonna roll with Coast, depending on how he does in the spring. If he doesn't have a good spring, I don't know what we do here. I have several people who can play the shortstop position, so we may send him down to the minors, AAA once again for a little bit more development. Left field, we're still going to roll with Encarnacion. Uh, Maybe our only left fielder on the roster, though. I don't know that we'll keep Jolks on the 26-man roster. All of this depends upon spring. We may move on from Encarnacion. If I find something I kind of like trade wise, might move on from him. We only went after him because we dealt our left fielder last season. At center field, obviously, will still be Luis Robert Jr. Kind of want to build around him in the outfield. We did draft us some young talent there, and we have other young talent in the Double A, but the project pieces, so they're not ready to step up yet. And then right field, our biggest acquisition last season, Lawrence Butler. Felt like we paid a pretty good price for him, and he's probably going to be our guy that bats cleanup through the spring. I kind of want to leave him in that cleanup role. I think he has the most power on the team, but we'll kind of get into that here in a second. This is kind of what we're looking at for the spring in terms of pitching rotation. Kyle Busch is our only left-handed starter. We're going to give him the look first. Jack Eater and Hagen Smith also are lefties. We'll probably rotate them in, see kind of what they do. I do want to keep at least one lefty, even if it's going to be someone who plays in the long reliever or as the fifth spot in our pitching rotation. I will most likely, first couple games, because I want to see a whole lot of things, is we'll probably take a look at Shane Baz for one look. Once he comes off, that game might be done, but I will also want to watch our offense go through the rotation there. So we'll kind of catch all of that. Bryce Wilson, I feel like I know what we got. I don't really have any other options. We'll probably keep him. I don't know that we'll look at him in the spring. Drew Thorpe is definitely somebody we want to look at in the spring. And then there's going to be a couple games that we kind of catch just because I want to see some of these other guys potentially, like a Hagen Smith maybe. But also, how far into a game we go depends on the first reliever they send out. If it's a reliever I kind of want to check out, we might watch all of it. I don't have anybody I want to watch per se. Tommy, James, and Morietta are three guys that I'm interested in, but I can kind of decide what I want to do there when with just how they do stats wise. Don't necessarily need to see them pitch in game to kind of make my bullpen decisions. So to start us out here in spring training, lineup's going to go as follows. Luis Reyes is going to be our leadoff guy for right-handers. Has just a really big contact guy. Lacks in speed, but I can live with that, especially at the first base. And I know he can play multiple positions, but I feel like first base is really the only place we're going to use him defensively, unless there's some kind of an injury arises. Oswaldo Cabrera is going to get the start at second. It's really good against right-handers. Looks like he can get on base pretty well for us there. And he has really good fielding for second base out of our options. Dylan Moore is an option defensively here for us, but he lacks in contact. Luis Robert is going to be our number 3 hitter. I debated putting him as the leadoff here, but feel like it'd be better if we run him at the 3 because he has a little pop against right-handers. But he's also really fast, so if we go down, first 2 batters down, I think Luis can get on base for us and maybe steal second, and then obviously Lawrence Butler is going to be batting cleanup for us against right-handers and left-handers. Just has the most power on the team. Rojas is going to be our number 5 batter. He's only going to be in the right-hand lineup. He is terrible against lefties, so he's going to be a right-hand only guy. Really good defensively for us, though, so maybe that'll help balance that out a little bit. Andrew Vaughn's going to be our DH against right-handers. I feel like he's our best option for DH against right-handers with our current roster. We got a couple of guys we can kind of interchange in that spot. It's kind of why I did the signings I did in free agency, just because I feel like it gives us options throughout the season. So We're going to be taking a lot more looks this season than we did last season at kind of what the roster's doing at different points in the season. Encarnacion's going to fall back to the bottom of the lineup. He didn't do bad last season as our leadoff guy. I know he's got a lot of pop to his bat. We may move him up. I don't know yet. I don't necessarily like him at the 7th spot here in our lineup, but I don't know. We may bump this up towards the. We'll see how it kind of starts in spring training, but this is a possible option for us to move up maybe to the number 5 spot. Kind of see how that goes. Kyle Till looks like he got better defensively behind the plate, which you love to see. He's also really good against right-handers. He's going to be our catcher rolling forward. We'll probably keep one other catcher, most likely a Maya, like previously said, to kind of rotate out with him on the majors. And then Colson Montgomery is going to be the last man in the lineup. And we're really just going to see what he does through spring. We may run with no shortstops on the roster for the major, in the 26-man roster. But I also have several guys who can play that position. Against lefties, though, Luis Ariza will be our DH. I don't have any. I just feel like this is going to be our best bet here. So against lefties, he's going to be our DH. Andrew Vaughn will be the starter against left-handers. Robert in the 3 spot once again, similar to why I put him at the 3 spot against righties. Same concept against lefties, even though he is significantly weaker against left-handed batters. Lawrence Butler in the cleanup, we've already been over that and why I did that. Encarnacion moves up further in the lineup. This might be something where we do reverse. Like he might move to the 5 spots against right-handers and then move down to like the 7 against lefties. I don't know yet. We're really weak against left-handers. It's going to be something we kind of target probably in the offseason and probably in the draft is try to find us some left-handed hitters. Nicky Lopez is going to be our second baseman against left-handers, batting in the 6th spot. Enrique Hernandez is going to be our third baseman against lefties. All of our third basemen are pretty weak against lefties. I have other options. It's just they're not that great fielding, and I don't feel like they have the arm to play third base. Kind of why we're rolling with Hernandez right here. Colson Montgomery is going to be batting in the 8th spot. He's probably going to be at the bottom of the lineups. Even if he makes the 26-man roster, he's probably going to be towards the bottom. Kyle Till is still our catcher. Corey Lee just doesn't have the pop off the bat that you want to see. I mean, he's got power against righties and lefties. It's just his contact so low. Probably something we're going to start working on with him. Maya is decent against righties, but he's just terrible against lefties, and I don't feel like it's worth putting him in against righties and kind of rotating them. We may do that. That might be how we open up the season. Edgar Cueto is really good against lefties. We're probably going to see him against lefties. Matter of fact, thinking I might go ahead and put him in the lineup against lefties. Yeah, we're going to let him roll against lefties. We're going to put him as the 8th batter. We're going to see what he can do. Kind of like that. I didn't realize that to begin with. Then we got some other guys that we're going to we'll get a feel for. I don't know that we'll showcase a whole bunch of guys. Most of the decisions I make will be based off of stats from Sim. Free agency has some guys that kind of pique your interest. I don't think John Gray would be a bad acquisition considering how bad our starting lineup is towards the bottom of it. I don't expect a whole lot from our pitching staff, to be honest, just because there's a lot of development needs to have. If John Gray was a lefty, I probably would sign him just because I like to have a lefty somewhere in my pitching staff. Robert Snyder here hits lefties really good, and we're weak at lefties. I strongly considered making this acquisition, at least for a 1-year deal, just to put him in the lineup against lefties. I'm not sold on it. I don't know how I feel about it. Merrill Kelly, another older pitcher here, still in free agency. I think he throws really well. It's just, again, it's a right-handed pitcher. I have plenty of right-handed pitchers. I feel like this is another situation where if he was a lefty, let's sign him. Then we have Andrew Heaney here, who is really the only free agent right now at the start of spring training that I am strongly considering signing. He is a lefty. He has a nice 5-pitch mix that I like. And he also had a really good season with Pittsburgh last year. And so I'm going to kind of look at a few other things, see what we can do. We might be signing him at least for this year. It's very, very tempting. So I talked myself into it, right? We signed him. It took a 1 year, $10 million deal basically to make this happen. He was looking for a longer contract. I wasn't willing to do anything past 1 year. I just, given his age, and I want to see what other options we have out there. But right now, this is who I'm looking at for to be our signature left-hander. You know what I mean? So we did sign him. Costed me way more than I wanted. I had to talk myself into it. But he will be our lefty, and we will possibly showcase him just to see how he does. We are going to get into our first spring training game here. And here we are. Let's go. Let's get into this. Our first showing of spring training. It is the White Sox and the Cubs. Wouldn't want it any other way. Shane Baz is going to be our leadoff pitcher for spring training. We're just trying to get a feel of what everyone does here. We will only showcase up until Shane Baz comes off the field. Cubs are going to start out with Ben Brown. Luis Arraez here starting off for us. First pitch, and he swings, hits it right to third base. Going to be an easy out. Got our projections for our starting lineup. I agree with some of them. Some of them seem quite overzealous. Not sure how I feel about that. Some of them seem a little low, though. As Oswaldo Cabrera sends it to left field, gets on base. Robert Jr. is then going to fly out. Not a solid start for who we are trying to build the team around, essentially, in terms of our offense. And then Lewis Butler goes down swinging. Very unfortunate. No offense to speak of except for the one hit. And Nico Horner is going to return in kind what we did. First pitch, first hit. He gets on base. Easy single. Shane Baz delivering the next batter. Nice pitch. He's going to send it right to Lawrence Butler. Easy out for the White Sox here.
Runner, he's going.
So we got a steal coming. Can we get there? We cannot. A little late on the throw out.
That's ball 4.
And then we walk the batter. So not the best look for Shane Baz here in the bottom of the first.
Runner.
They're going for another steal, and we got him this time.
There on the tag. Out.
Hey, sometimes it just takes 2 attempts, you know. Rojas swinging at the dirt like he's playing golf. It's going to be an easy out. Andrew Vaughn trying to stay relevant in our current lineups, and he is going to fly out to right field. Unfortunate for the young man. Encarnacion is going to do, or is he? Not enough. Flies out to left field. Michael Bush hits the 2-2 pitch. Goes out at first base. Swanson is going to do exactly what Bush did. A little repeat fence there. And Shane Baz gets the third batter on a nasty pitch. Kyle Till gets a hold of it, but it's just not enough. It's going to be an out in left field. Colson Montgomery going down looking. First at bat of the spring. Not the kind of pitch you want to see him swing on. Not looking good for him in terms of a roster spot. Luis Arraez is going to get a double here, I do believe. And Cabrera, can he send him home? He cannot. Flies out. Shane Baz back up here, bottom of the third. Gets Danny Jansen looking for his third strikeout. Love to see it. And then they're just going to do a lazy little bunt. And we can't get there, can we? No.
He's good.
That was a good play by the Cubs, I guess. Easy little bunt. Try to throw him out. I don't think that
Runner,
worked
he's
in our
going,
favor.
he's
And then he's
going.
gonna steal. He got you.
Ball one.
You played yourself,
He's dead.
Shane. You played yourself. Got on second, and he just sends this to center left, and it's gonna bring a run home. Lord have mercy. Cubs on the board first. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Would have loved to seen us get the score first, but not to be. Nice stop by first base.
Oh.
Shane there for the out. Keeps that guy on third.
Inside.
And
Ball
then Shane
four.
goes, you know what? I want runners on the corner.
Hey.
Just so I can strike out this guy. Cubs making a pitching change. So it may be the last inning we show in this game. If Shane comes out, it'll be the end of it. Luis Robert Jr. Still no offense from him. Lawrence Butler up now, and he smashes it on the ground right past the pitcher. He's going to get on base for us. Just a single.
Runner,
See
runner,
if
runner.
Rojas can get it.
Yeah.
We send Butler, and
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
I don't hate the attempt. I feel like somebody just needs to be better at stealing. Rojas is going to fly out to center now. Didn't hate the steal. Did cost us that run, though. Bryce Wilson's going to come out to relieve Shane Baz. That's going to be the end of this showing. We end up winning 5-4, so the White Sox start with a early win in spring training. Now we got Drew Thorpe up. Drew Thorpe is another guy we're looking at maybe keeping on the roster for the regular season. See how he does pitching wise. 1-2 pitch here. Strikes out the first batter. Can he do it again? He does. 2 consecutive strikeouts. 2 up, 2 down, back to back. That's what I want to see from Drew Thorpe. And unfortunately, he can't complete the trifecta and retire the side in order. They're going to get a single, but won't be enough. It's going to wrap up the first, or the top of the first for us. Rangers march out their pitcher. We're going to see if he's got anything for Luis Arraez. And right fielder. Don't even think he had to move. Cabrera up next, and he is going to actually get that one down. Solid single by Cabrera. A little bit more pop coming off the bat in this game so far. No, it's early. Luis Robert Jr., though. None too pleased with his performance so far. Lawrence Butler is going to send it. Does it have enough? It's going to fall just short. Almost a home run by Lawrence Butler. Jake Berger trying to return the effort in kind, though, and he's going to be just short of the fence right there on the warning track. Now, Lord have mercy. What do you know? Easy out. End of the second.
3.
Drew Thorpe strikes out another guy. They smashed it. What a play by Colson Montgomery.
Out.
That was absolutely beautiful. Let's take us another look at this. Nice diving stop by him, and then bam, right to first. Love to see it from him. Young man said, I want to play in the majors this year. Love to see it from him. 2 outs, and Drew Thorpe goes, you know what? Let me just take this batter out. So free base for the Rangers, and they send it right down pipe to us. Runners on the corner, and they're going to fly out. So Drew Thorpe gets bailed out by some poor hitting. It's going to bring us to the bottom of the third here. Miguel Amaya, and he absolutely smashes one out of here. 454 yards. The man is electric. Might just be our starting catcher. If he can deliver that, I will put him as our starting catcher in the lineup. See if he can't get this offense started here. Take a second look. He absolutely smashed it. And he knew it. As soon as it left his bat, he knew. He was like, that's out of here. Solid solo home run. First of spring training for the young man. And then Colson Montgomery breaks his back. Unfortunate. It's going to bring up Luis Arraez, and he... Will it get down? It's probably not. Yep. It's going to be an easy out for him. 2 outs. Cabrera up. He's 1 for 1 on the day. He goes down looking. And that would be the end of the day for old Drew Thorpe. Shane Baz surprisingly would come in to relieve. Rangers win 2-1. A little bit of a lineup change here. We're not going to watch any offense, so pause if you want to take a look at who we're kind of putting in here for this spring training game. We're just showcasing our left-handed pitcher that we signed, Andrew Haney. Want to see what he can kind of give us. Solid contact, goes deep. We're there for it. Easy out for the White Sox. Second batter up, and they smash it right over the mid of first base. Going to be an easy on base right there. Unfortunate. Not a strong start for Andrew Haney. Let's see if he can recover. Maybe it's just some jitters. First inning jitters for him. See if he can settle down, bring it back in. He is going to strike out Fernando Tatis. Sorry. Forgot how to talk there for a second. To end the first. Or top the first. Top the second now. Easy first out. And looks like we're going to have an easy second out. They're hitting it pretty deep on old Andrew. Can't say that I'm a fan of that. It only takes one of them to get really a hold of it to send it out of the park, you know.
He's out.
Nicky Lopez with the lazy throw to first. Colson Montgomery got the day off. He needed a rest. Also wanted to kind of see...
Out.
Since we're only probably going to have one shortstop on the roster, if Colson Montgomery makes it, kind of need to see that we have somebody who can play the position. So I wanted to test out a few people at that position. Nicky Lopez kind of fits the bill there.
That's ball 4. Take your base.
It's like Andrew Heaney decided to walk somebody though. They're going to go for the steal. Bad pitch, wild pitch, easy free base for the Padres. And should have an easy out here. We do. That's going to end at the top of the third. Bring us to the 4th inning. Still no runs scored by either team. We start off with a strikeout. And then Tatis just can't get a hold of it. A little bit of an awkward defensive play, but Haney gets the out at first. And then they line it right to third. Easy out again. Quick 4th. Was a little surprised the manager kept Haney out, especially in spring training for the 5th. If this was the regular season, wouldn't concern me too much. That one almost went yard. But I just didn't want to see Haney out. And there's one to left center. Really, just, I don't know. Not a huge fan of keeping the pitcher out there for the 5th inning in spring training, you know. Just seems so unnecessary. See if he can get out of this jam. He does. So unfortunately, they wouldn't actually pull Haney. I had to force the sub out. And there you have it for our spring training. Due to time constraints, I think this is all I'm going to showcase. We are at the end of spring training now. I couldn't find any left-handed pitching battles that kind of go through our left-handed lineup. We'll probably have to catch that in the regular season. But we'll kind of go through real quick and kind of, show what everyone did. Shane Baz did not do bad at all in spring training. Solid ERA. Whip's a little high, but I can live with it. Wilson also did well. Arguably, he did better than Shane Baz. Did pitch less innings, though. Drew Thorpe, I don't know. That's a high ERA. His whip is the lowest of the other two. but I just we may put him in AAA. One more year of development. That ERA is just a touch too high. Didn't hate what I saw from him, but I feel like he just needs another year of development. Jonathan Cannon, we're gonna have to roll with him. Did not do well in the spring, in my opinion, but he's gonna have to be one of our guys going forward. I can't afford to send too many guys down. Andrew Heaney didn't do bad in the showcase we did of him. High ERA, high WHIP, but we are going to roll with him in our starting five for sure. Hagen Smith in 7 innings got absolutely shelled. Probably going to send him back down, most likely AAA. Jake Eater, he's going to end up being in our starting five. I don't know that I may send more people down. We may do some more adjustments. We may sign 2 more guys at the start of the next episode. I don't know yet. We're going to have to kind of play with it. Morietta only pitched 4 innings in the closer position for us. He did not do well as the closer. We'll probably start him at closer to begin the season. See how he does through the first month, and then we'll adjust from there. Tommy Canil, I assume that's how you say his name. I'm probably butchering some of these names, but he did really well as a reliever. Arguably could be our closer. Just kind of see how things go. Parnakak didn't do bad at all himself. Pretty much not a whole lot of complaints from our bullpen. Can see some improvement in some areas. But I feel confident rolling forward with what we got. Munfree has proven that he is no longer our closer, in my opinion. He'll probably be a setup guy or just a late reliever. I don't know yet. Kyle Till didn't do bad. Solid batting average, pretty good. 71 at bats. Miguel Amaya really impressed. Definitely going to keep him and Till as our catchers for the major league roster. Don't know who I'm going to give more of the starts to. It may just be something where we make that decision based on month-to-month ratings. Corey Lee and Cuero are going back down to AAA. Luis Arraez proved why we signed him. He did really well at first base for us. Andrew Vaughn didn't do too bad. Flirting with the Mendoza line, though. Luis Arraez is going to be our starting first baseman, though. And we'll see what Andrew Vaughn's development does this season. Dylan Moore had a terrible spring, but only 11 at bats. He's more of a depth piece for us. I definitely like Nicky Lopez more at second base. He also plays a little bit of shortstop for us. So we may keep Dylan Moore on the major league roster to kind of float as needed. At third base, we got a lot of people at third base. Hernandez definitely did well. Rojas did well. And Cabrera did extremely well. Really impressed with all of them. I'd like to be able to keep all 3 of them on the major league roster, but we'll kind of see where we are with what we have available. And Colson Montgomery had a very good spring. I think he's ready. Flirting was sending him back down to AAA just to get more development, but he did really well in the spring. I feel like he's earned a spot. We're going to give him his rookie season. Encarnacion did well. Still flirting with moving him up higher in the batting order. We'll make that determination in the next episode, though. Luis Robert Jr. had a terrible, terrible spring. I'm hoping he can bounce back during the regular season. We'll kind of see how that unfolds. But when you hit below the Mendoza line in spring, it does worry me. Lawrence Butler did really good. Still, pretty happy with our acquisition of him. In terms of our scouts for starting out, go ahead and go over this. Pretty much replaced all 3 of them, found better options. Wasn't displeased with our scouts last year. Obviously, we had a pretty good draft, but I feel like we're going to get better scouting for less money. So it's going to save us money on the budget. And so this is going to be our 3 scouts for this season. And that's going to wrap up this episode. Next episode, we're starting off with opening day. And kind of got an idea of how I want to do things. I got a lot of film to edit here. I don't know how much is going to make it into the episode. I have an idea of how long I want episodes to kind of be. I know the last one I did ran over pretty bad. I tried to do too much in one episode, so got an idea how I want to do this season. I think we're going to do opening day, go over some quick scouting reports. Might do a couple showcases depending on how the season's going for us. Take a look at a few things. But we will probably get up to maybe the draft. Thinking if we can get the next episode up to the draft, we'll have to see kind of how time goes. And then the draft up to September. Call ups will be one episode. And then obviously we'll have the month of September. I doubt we make the postseason, but if the long shot happens that we do make the postseason, we'll have September postseason in one episode, and then the off season will be its own individual episode. But if we don't make the postseason, which I anticipate we're not, September and the off season potentially in one episode. Let's see how things go. But I have an idea how I want to do things. But thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with what we're doing. And go White Sox.